If you're on TikTok, you might have seen the Rapture craze that's taken the world by storm. People from all over the world believed that September 24th or 25th, 2025 would be the end of the world. For those of you who don't know, the Rapture is a religious belief held by some Christians. It states that there will be a day when all dead Christian believers will be resurrected, and along with Christians who are still alive, will rise into the clouds and meet their Lord in heaven. So seeing this story go viral on TikTok reminded me of two other stories that happened in my lifetime that, in my opinion, are a lot more crazy. So in this video, I'm going to be counting down 3 stories about the fake rapture that never came, and you might want to stick around till the end because number 1 is truly shocking. Let's get started at number 3. The TikTok rapture. Recently on TikTok and social media, a clip of a South African preacher named Brother Josh went viral when he said this.
In 2018, Jesus physically appeared in front of me and told me on the 23rd and the 24th of the Feast of Trumpets in September 2025, I will come to take my church.
This claim spread like wildfire on social media, both because some people believed it and others wanted to make fun of it. The hashtag Rapture Talk exploded with reactions from users, preparation tips, everyone either preparing for their trip to heaven or making fun of everybody who was doing that.
The people who disappeared or appeared to be unalived in a great mass are not abducted by aliens, nor did they die in a great mass. We were taken to heaven by Jesus Christ, the Savior of the world. Pretending I got raptured.
Babe, we both know you're not getting raptured.
If the rapture is happening, if the rapture is gonna happen in a few days, but they say it's gonna happen, that means I only have a few days left with my kids.
Now, the dark side of these rapture stories, and you'll see a pattern with all the stories I talk about today, is that people tend to quit their jobs, leave their families, spend all of their money because there's no tomorrow in their mind.
I'm saying goodbye to my car. I've had it for 5 years. Someone else is gonna get her. I'm catching a flight to heaven in September anyway. I won't need the car.
And I asked God, whenever the rapture happens, whether it is next week, next month, next year, can you please just arrange things where I can be home with my family when it happens? About 4 hours later, I was fired. A month ago, they gave me 2 extra PTO days because I had been doing such a good job. And I was fired for something that has been going on for over 6 months, but suddenly became a problem now. All I felt was peace. It was just another confirmation.
Now, obviously, the date came and went and nothing happened, leaving many of these believers either silenced or having to issue an apology.
So I want to publicly, apologize.
I'm here with all humility to apologize to everyone who have had me promote Brother Joshua's 23rd, 24th date of September rapture.
But Brother Joshua, on the other hand, is doubling down. Apparently, he's saying that he miscalculated and the real date is in October.
When you come over to our calendar straight from the 23rd and the 24th of September 2025 in the Julian calendar, it takes you to the 7th of October.
But thankfully, less people seem to be listening this time around. So we're going to move on to the second story in today's video. In 2011, the world saw one of the most publicized rapture predictions ever led by a Christian radio broadcaster named Harold Camping. Harold was the president of a Christian radio station called Family Radio, and he had a lot of editorial control at that station. Now, Family Radio wasn't a small rinky-dink station that nobody knew about. Apparently, in Christian circles, it was pretty well known. At one point, even being worth over $70 million. Harold had his own show on the station called Open Forum with Harold Camping, where people called in just to talk about their beliefs and Jesus and just Christian theology in general. So apparently one day, after doing some biblical math, Harold went on air and told the world that the rapture would be on May 21st, 2011. He predicted that all good Christians would be raptured on that day at 6 p.m. and everyone else would be subjected to massive earthquakes shortly after the rapture.
What would happen if your whole prediction didn't happen.
I can't entertain any question that suggests that it's not true.
You're teaching erroneous doctrine. St. Paul would consider you a heretic. I learned so much from you over the past 5 years. I just want to thank you for leading me to the truth.
Okay, God bless you, Harold. I hope I bump into you on the way up.
So a lot of his followers believed him. They believed the earth would be destroyed and they would be raptured to heaven.
97% of the people God will destroy.
I don't believe in such.
It seems like Harold believed it as well because he started spending his company's money like there was no tomorrow. He advertised his end of days prediction everywhere. Billboards went up across the US warning of Judgment Day, May 21st, 2011. Followers handed out leaflets in cities, painted their cars with doomsday warnings, and even drained their personal savings to fund this message. The advertising campaign was so popular that apparently campaign costs ballooned to over $100 million. By May 2011, everybody had heard of this rapture prediction, to the point where it was in the top 5 of the most Googled things that month. So many people ruined their lives because they believed in this prediction so much. Take this guy for example. Robert Fitzpatrick. Apparently he spent almost all of his personal life savings to tell people about the end of the world.
I'm 60 years old. And I live on Staten Island in New York City. I used to be an engineer for New York City Transit, and I retired in 2006. I had plans after I retired, but I put them all aside. I feel as if I've been drafted.
And there are countless reports at this time of people who quit their jobs, spent their money, racked up insane amounts of debt, or sold their stuff for pennies because they thought that the world was gonna end. And as it usually goes with these stories, when that day finally arrives, people are standing there embarrassed.
A little let down. I went on a spending spree, went out, partied hard last night. Didn't work out. Now I gotta go get a few more hours of work. Here is Robert Fitzpatrick again on the date of the supposed rapture, in Times Square, counting down, waiting for it to happen.
You're saying 6 o'clock.
Which corresponds to 6 o'clock.
In 3 minutes. If it does not happen, what will that mean?
I wouldn't entertain that question.
You're confident.
That's what I read in the Bible. That's what I read.
Well, we'll see very shortly.
Yes, very shortly.
Thank you.
We still here?
Correct.
Huh?
I do not understand
6 o'clock, and I'm standing here talking to you.
I don't understand why nothing has happened.
What happens now?
I don't know.
How do you feel about all the money?
The Bible says that I did what I had to do.
Do you know how much did you spend on the advertising?
Where are you going now? I haven't decided yet. I didn't water my plants. I didn't do the dishes before I left. I didn't expect to be going back home.
Are y'all giving back any refunds for those who...
I never collected any money. It was all my money that I spent.
No, but I know, but being that you say the world was coming to an end, I didn't pay this much rent because I really thought God was going to come back on May 21st. And I gave a lot to the homeless people trying to prepare for this day. And
I'm sorry I can't help you. You guys spent a lot more than you did, I'm sure.
And again, there were thousands of people like Patrick here. These people were crushed, including Harold Camping himself.
Give me a day. No interviews at all today.
But I'm wondering how you feel today about your prediction.
Well, I'm bewildered. I'm very bewildered, and that's all I can say right now.
But his followers and the public in general were not about to feel sorry for him.
Why didn't the rapture happen on May 21st? Don't cut me off yet. And why do you believe so much on it's going to happen another 5 months? You're really pathetic. You know, I wasted all my money, and I sent it to you, and I don't have nothing. I was putting my hopes in you. You understand? I wish I could see you face to face. I'd smack you right in the...
After hiding for a bit, Camping eventually went back on his show and said that he miscalculated, and the real end of days was going to happen on October 21st, 2011, calling it the real deadline. But this time, not so many people believed him. And when October came around and nothing happened yet again, Harold faced even more backlash. A month later, Camping retired in disgrace, staying out of the public eye for the remainder of his days. But before passing away, he talked about the rapture one more time on camera.
I was totally convinced, totally convicted of it, but I was wrong. I was wrong. I have sinned.
Now, some people in hindsight say that he wasn't grifting. He genuinely believed that the rapture was coming, and he was a victim too of his own religious psychosis. At the end of the day, who knows? That's the end of that story, which means it's time to move on to the craziest rapture prediction I've ever heard in my life. I'm talking about 1997's Heaven's Gate cult. Now, before I get into this, I just want to give a warning to anybody who might be sensitive to themes of self-harm. The general subject matter of the story is going to deal with self-harm and things of that nature, so if you're sensitive to these things, here's your warning. Heaven's Gate was a religious movement led by Marshall Applewhite and Bonnie Nettles. Their central teaching was that the earth was about to be recycled, wiped clean, and the only way to survive was to leave the planet.
Planet Earth about to be recycled. Your only chance to survive or evacuate is to leave with us. So the one or the mind that was in Jesus, what? That mind is in me? You'll have to decide that for yourself. I must admit that I am here again, that I'm here saying exactly the same thing that I said then, trying to say it in today's language, trying to hope that for your sakes you can see what we have to offer you, for our Father offers you life.
The group believed that a spacecraft or UFO was traveling behind the Hale-Bopp comet. They thought this spaceship was coming to pick them up and transport them to a higher plane of existence beyond human life. But there was one condition. They had to shed their human bodies to go.
Beyond here, and if you want to go there, then you have to follow me, because I'm the guy who's got the key at the moment. And it requires that you, if you move into that evolutionary kingdom, that you leave behind everything of human ways. It means that even the mind that you had as a human is aborted, and the soul that was given to you is filled with next level information, next level mind, and a new creature is born.
Now, the cult leaders were very controlling in this cult. They required people to completely let go of their personalities. For example, everybody was forced to change their names to something ending in O-D-Y. So if your name is Mark, you'd be Modi. If your name is Alex, you'd be Audi. If you're Sam, you'd be something like Samodi. They weren't allowed to be individuals. Everybody had the same haircut, they had to wear baggy clothes, they had to wear Nike sneakers. By slowly breaking his followers down, Marshall eventually convinced his followers that they weren't human at all. They were other beings that needed to leave this world behind by unaliving themselves, and in doing so, they would move on to the next plane of existence. And it was all planned out very methodically. They knew the exact day they would be raptured, and they filmed goodbye videos right before they went.
Well, I just want to let everyone know how lucky and happy I feel to be here, and let you know that what we're about to do is certainly nothing to think negatively about. We're all choosing of our own free will, go to the next level with T and Doe.
I just want to say how thankful I am to Doe and T for helping me and taking me under their wing. And
my thoughts in these last hours are only of joy and wonder at the thought of going home.
Why am I here? What is the meaning of life? Since I've been in the class, I've learned the answers to all of those.
And couldn't be happier about what we're about to do.
In late March 1997, the world learned that 39 members of the group, including Applewhite himself, had taken their lives in an unaliving ceremony in California. The members were all found wearing identical black outfits and Nike sneakers with purple shrouds over their body. Each person had a small bag packed beside them, ready in their minds for their interstellar journey. The images on the news were chilling. Rows of bunk beds neatly arranged in that eerie uniformity. It was shocking not only because of that scale, but also because of how calmly and methodically they seemed to have prepared for it. Nobody was panicking, nobody was scared. They truly believed they were making the right decision. They interviewed a lot of former members who received these goodbye videos, and some of them regretted leaving, saying that they wish they had stayed in the cult.
I can say with absolute undeniable certainty that Doe was the second coming of Jesus,
and I know it's true.
That story specifically is, as far as I know, the most sinister instance of a rapture prediction that I've ever heard of. If there's any notable stories I missed or anything that you guys want me to talk about in a future video, drop a suggestion in the comments, and as always, thanks for watching.